So here are the layout of all of the properties of squares and rectangles. Rectangles have four sides. The opposite sides are parallel and of the same length. All angles measure 90 degrees, and it may or may not be a square. Here is a square, and I want you to look carefully while I read over its properties. Okay? The first thing is that it is a four-sided figure, and they are all the same length. All of the sides are the same length. You can see right here that this drawing here shows that they are all the same length. This tick mark in the middle shows that all of these sides are the same length. So even if it looked like this, we would know that all of the sides were 15 inches because this one is labeled 15 and then there's a tick on all of the other sides. And the next properties are that all of the sides are parallel. Side AD is parallel to side BC. Side AB is parallel to DC. And we could show that they are parallel by putting these types of arrows. Right? The same here and here. I want you to make special note of right here, where it tells you about the sides being parallel. The two lines in between the line segment names show that the line segments are parallel. The last property we're going to talk about squares is that a square has four right angles. We can see that shown in the excuse me. We can see that shown in the drawing here, 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 and here, with the red little squares that show that it is 90 degrees. I also want you to make sure that you're looking that right here, it talks about the angle A is the same as the angle B. And they're all 90 degrees. So now it's your turn. Which of these is a square? A, B, C, or D? And explain how you know that that is a square. We know that the square is B because it has four sides. Each of the sides are the same length. It has four angles of 90 degrees. Also, we know that these sides are parallel, and these sides are parallel to each other as well. Let's move on to rectangles. Here we have a picture of a rectangle. It looks a lot like a square. The first property is the same as a square. It's four sides, right? And the sides are parallel. We'll talk about that in a minute. The difference between a rectangle and a square is that a rectangle has two sides that are the same length, and the other two sides are different lengths than the first two sides, but they are equal to each other. Notice that these two sides that are equal have one tick, and this side that are equal to each other have double ticks to show which sides are equal. So we could block out the numbers of these sides because we can figure it out from the information given. We know that this side is also 30 degrees because there's double tick here and a double tick here. 30 centimeters, I'm sorry. We know that this side is 12 centimeters because it says it right here, and there's a single tick and a single tick. Some more properties of rectangles are, like I was saying earlier, the opposite sides are parallel. Notice again how they write the names of the line segments and indicate that they are parallel. Okay? And the four angles are 90 degrees. So there's really only one difference between squares and rectangles, and it's that rectangles have two sides that are longer. Now it's your turn. Please decide which of these figures is a rectangle, A, B, C, or D, and explain how you know, using the special properties of a rectangle, that that figure is a rectangle. And I hope that everyone said that C is a rectangle. We know because it has four sides. Two of the sides are equal, and the other two sides are also equal length. Each of the four angles is 90 degrees in size. So that's how we know that that is a rectangle. So here are the layout of all of the properties of squares and rectangles. Rectangles have four sides. The opposite sides are parallel and of the same length. All angles measure 90 degrees, and it may or may not be a square. A square, on the other side, is a specific kind of rectangle where all sides are of the same length, the opposite sides are parallel, all angles measure 90 degrees, and again, a square is a special type of rectangle.